ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hari Om everybody. Just a small announcement. We have given an arrangement of this Zoom classes to some of the students. It's Neeti and Sabha. So they are handling it today onwards. And in case there is a problem after 30 minutes, please don't panic. We'll be online immediately 1 minute afterwards. So don't shut off and go. It's just an announcement I'm supposed to make. Okay. So let's start with the class. Last time, I think so, we were talking about action. Karmande vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. So we were supposed to do that. And I talked about the constituents of action, how to go. So we stopped last time there, I think. So there are the 5 constituents of action. And the first is called adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the field of activity which we are planning to do, adhishtanam. Second is karta, the doer. So the field of activity, we explained it last class, is what you choose to do in life. What is the field of activity where you want to encourage and work on it? Karta, the doer, is also important. The doer is most important because I may want to do what I want to do, but I may not gear up for that. I don't have that kind of strength or stamina to do it. Therefore, the focus on the doer is to be a very fit instrument to do that particular action. That's the reason I remember we gave the example last time, it was not recorded, of a lion which was 275 kilos usually in the jungle, and it can bring down a beast, a wild buffalo, which is probably around 470 kilos. And Swami Ramtirtha gives this example, and he says the attitude, the strength of the bull or the buffalo, wild buffalo, is much more than the lion. But the lion believes in its spirit, not in the body. Similarly, the doer, if they have this tendency, the attitude of, yes, I can do it, everything is achievable. If not, nothing is achievable. That's also true. A rat went to a master and it said that, oh master, I am always very afraid and frightened of this cat, because wherever I go, the cat comes and it tries to eat me up. So please make me into a cat. So the guru said, Tathastu, and he made him into a cat. After 1 week, the cat came and said, oh master, I am running everywhere. Rats are not troubling me, but dogs are everywhere and they're chasing me out in every area. Please, 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 sir, bless me. Can you make me a dog? The master in his compassionate ground said, Tathastu, and he was becoming a dog. After 1 week, the dog came again and said, master, I did not know this, but I am the favorite food for all the leopards. Leopards like me only to eat. So what do I do? Please change me into a leopard or a carnivore. The master said, Tathastu, and he was changed into a carnivore, a leopard. Then the leopard came one week afterward and said, man hunts me relentlessly. He just goes on killing me. Please make me a human being. And the master said, Tathastu, and made him back into a rat. And said, whatever I do for you, nothing will suffice, because physically you may change, but internally you have a heart of a rat. So if that heart of a rat is there inside me, whatever field I choose outside, however noble it is, I will not be able to do because I got the heart of a rat. I won't be able to do. I won't be. That thought is the most dangerous thought as far as spirituality is concerned. So the doer needs to be perked up. Adhishtanam, the field of activity, doer, and Instruments, what are the instruments required for that particular activity needs to be there. After instruments, what are the processes to achieve my target? So when I come across a failure, people run away and say that no, the field of activity is bad. Therefore, they choose another field of activity. You should never do that. You should change the process, keep on changing the process until you come to know that this is it and this will bring me better results than the previous one. As simple as that, right? So process. And the fifth part, Daivam. Daivam is that invisible force which determines the results. So when Daivam is there, people all around the world are very focused on this fifth factor. Lot of Pandits and Pujaris and Maulvis all come together and says, we will take care of that effect. To tell you frankly, nobody else can take care of that invisible force except you. Many people say there is a conscious mind, there is an unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind is the deeper state, and it is the unconscious mind that controls and maneuvers the conscious mind. Intelligently, if you analyze who created this unconscious mind, how did it come up? It came up with my conscious thoughts. Whatever I'm thinking, it's gone in the background. So whatever I'm doing now, my conscious state is responsible for the unconscious state. So Daivam is intelligent people. What they do, they don't bother about the Daivam. Result, they just see accordingly what result is there. Is this result commensurate to my effort? If the answer is yes, then they go for it. If the answer is no, they don't go for it. As simple as that. This medium, whatever we are doing, is it commensurate to the result? Whatever result is coming, is it enough? The answer is no. See, when you have a higher goal in life, usually you try to do the most you can, reach the maximum you can. It is not ego. It is not the individual wants to reach. Please, I'll recommend a movie for everybody. See a movie called Terry Fox. In that Terry Fox movie, it's a beautiful movie of the boy who lost his leg for cancer, and yet he went on running around Canada. It's a true story. Running around Canada for the sake of cancer people, to get money for them. So whatever money people used to give, used to just donate it to them. So somebody told him he is going to reach Ottawa, the capital, and there are going to be 3,000 people. So his sister smilingly says, there are going to be 3,000 people listening to you, Terry. And Terry just says, that's it. That's all. That's all doesn't mean he wants to reach. The idea is to reach more people, because the higher goal is what? To try to make as many people's life better than what it was before as possible. That's all. Nothing else is there. So processes keep on changing. Intelligent people say, don't focus on the Daivam. Focus on the first four aspects of the activity field. The doer should be perfect. The instruments what I have should be perfect. And the process with which I'm going on, automatically the result will take care of itself. It's a guarantee. So sometimes in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am there. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ikshami ma shucha. I am there. I'll take care of you. You don't worry, man. I'll give you moksha, freedom, liberation from all the problems, and I'll give you eternal happiness. You don't worry. What you have to do? Just do what I'm telling to do. This is a beautiful story of a sannyasi, a bhikshu, who went to one of the houses. When he went to one of the houses, the Bhavati Bhikshan, they give me Bhiksha. So the lady was about to give. The man said, no, we don't have anything. We don't give it to beggars. So the sannyasi said, listen, somebody gave me rice. I can't eat dry rice. So I just want a little bit of liquid, with it so that I can eat. Give me something like that. No, we can't do that. He said, no, you don't have to give me dal or something like that. You don't have to give me anything. You know what? I have got something magical. I just need a little bit of water or something like that. So what magical you have? So from the bag, he removed a big stone, a round stone. And he said, can you get me a vessel? So he got him a vessel. And then he put the stone there inside. And he prayed. For 2 minutes he prayed and said, can I get a little bit of oil or ghee? A little bit of oil. Can I get a little bit of jeera? A little bit of jeera. Can I get a little bit of masala? 2 chilies, not more than that, please. The rest, all this rock will do. So the man is saying, really? Everything rock will do? Yes, yes. 2 chilies and a little bit, and half an onion if possible, half a tomato if possible, cut, and he kept it. And then he closed the lid and prayed. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 15 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Till then the onions are getting fried, the tomato is getting cooked. Then he says, give me a little bit of dal and water. And once I put dal and water, I shut the lid with the fire is already on. 80 times or 50 times I have to do japa. 15, make it 20. 20 to 25 times I have to do japa, Gayatri mantra, which is considered to be very powerful. So the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yonah Prajodayat. 18 times. And after, the man is also chanting 18 times. He wants to see how the stone works. After 18 times, he removed the lid, and lo, the dal is prepared. And the man says, I will give you anything. Please give me the stone. He said, no, sir, this is my magic stone. I can't give it to you. This is Daivam. Rest of the ingredients you do, whatever you want to do, you forget the result, it will come. You don't worry about it. Only keep on changing the processes, keep yourself agile. Physically fit for the doer, the exercise. Physically fit, mentally agile. Emotionally completely stable. When you have these 3 things, you are all right. So this is the 5 constituents of an action. The next step of a proper action is, many people say that, but you have to think about the result. Now, without thinking about the result, how can we live life? You're right. We have to think about, everybody thinks about the result. Don't you think when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about the results of how many people should listen, whether there should not be any misunderstanding? Of course you are thinking. The only difference between a spiritual person and so-called a normal or a common person is, when the common person thinks of the result, he tends to get attached to it. This should be the result is common to both a spiritual person as well as a normal person. This should be the result. When the result comes, the spiritual person says this result is not commensurate to the effort which we have done. Therefore, this process may not work. Let's try some other process. But they are not agitated. A normal person starts with the same thing. This is the result I expect. And as soon as the result comes, which is not commensurate to my output, which is not commensurate to the effort which I'm putting, then the thought comes, why did this happen? It should not happen. This is not the way. And the mind goes into a chakar. This is the difference between the two. One we call is phala chinta. Phala chinta means you are just worried about the result. A student studying properly, after studying, he says, this should be the result. How much result are you expecting? Percentage. Oh, sir, I'm expecting at least around 92 to 94%. Good for you. You have written the exam well. Yes, I've studied well. I've done everything. 92 to 94 result I need to get. Now, whether he gets that much or less doesn't matter. The other person writes and says, I am expecting this. Put the process, field of activity, and the doer himself has no strength. So they have written the paper of 69%. The result expectation is 85, 90. And when that result comes, they are constantly agitated. Before the result comes, they may go to temples also. and start praying. I may get better result. I may get better. Oh God, oh God, oh God, where my paper is going. Let the examiner's daughter get married nicely. Let him be in a nice mood. So when he sees my paper, he just ticks up and gives me good marks. All that, whether you get the examiner or right or wrong or what is happening in the future, is that Daivam. Phalachinta is a spiritual person also reacts, but they react only through perception. You call a spiritual person to your house and give something to eat. The spiritual person eats that and he finds its taste has gone bad. So he says, excuse me, this is smelling. I'm sorry, I'm not able to eat because the taste has gone bad. Doesn't matter, it's all right. Anyway, I'm going. And he leaves. As soon as he walks out of the door or she walks out of the door, there is no other thought. They just say, okay, it was bad and I didn't like it and I'm going. Perception ends with perception. This is phalachinta. Phalabhisandhi, another word, which is attachment to the fruits of action, is where the other person gives you something to eat, you refuse saying, no, this is not good, I don't like it. And then internally, when the other person goes, you keep on saying, 2 weeks back also, she did the same thing. I don't know what is the problem with her. I don't know what is the problem. Your mind starts churning all the things that go on. This is attachment to the fruit of action. When you are attached, the episode is over. The episode is over. The experience of the bad experience is over. But the agitations continue to remain. Sometimes, in fact, many times, the agitation remains for a whole life. What he did, what she did, what they did, it remains. The hatred remains. This is Phalabhisandhi. So I have captured, or we have discussed, all the attributes of action. So it's about time we move to the real verse. We'll chant the verse once. Karmannevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Karmani, action, eva, only, adhikar, duty, aste, is. Your only duty is in doing your action. Ma phaleshu, never fruits, kadachana, ever, never ever on the fruits. Your duty is only your own actions, never ever to the fruits. So when you are working, there are these three tendencies within us, we have repeatedly told: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattvic attitude is this attitude. The focus is what I am supposed to do now. This is at present my duty. Can I give my full concentration and full efforts towards this duty right now? This is what I should get. That is not the criteria. That's not the priority. What am I supposed to do? If every man thinks this, every husband thinks this about the wife, every wife thinks about the husband, every parent thinks about the children, and vice versa, there will never be any problem. What am I supposed? What is my duty now? Now the problem is, as soon as we say, this is my duty and I'm doing it, we start expecting the results. After all, how much I have done, how much I have helped that person. As soon as this criteria, tendency seeps into my system, after all, how much good I did, then you are seeking a remuneration from the society. And as soon as that outlook starts of what am I getting in the form of either money or respect or whatever it is from the other person, you are in trouble. So a sattvic person never thinks about the fruits. He takes the fruit, as I said, phalachinta, analyzes it, whether the result has come properly according to his expectations. If it is there, they'll continue with the same thing. But your job is only to do your duty perfectly, nothing else. There was this lady we met in Delhi when we were students of Swamiji. We were staying in the academy. So 4 students went and we were living there in this lady's house. Very, very sweet old Punjabi lady, extremely cultured lady. And we were sitting in the dining table and she was asking, so Swamiji's lectures are going on. Yeah. How are you doing? And can you tell me something about Bhagavad Gita? How does the, so sweetly she was inquiring. And we were answering. When we were answering, there was a loud bell. And suddenly she got up and she went, climbed the stairs towards the first floor. And then after 15 minutes, she came back, sat on the table having breakfast, and then started discussing again. So what were you saying? I said, sorry, Auntie ji, where did you go? You know, is everybody all right in the house? Because we were staying there for 4 days. She said, yeah. It was my husband. We thought, oh, is he sick or something? No. Every morning at around 8:30, he needs breakfast in his bed. So I have to carry the breakfast, and she's also quite old. The husband is also naturally a little bit old. Carry the breakfast with the newspaper folded in a particular way. She carries the tray all the way, and she has a problem. She's limping while going. So she has a problem in the knee. And that's how we do the break. I always give him the breakfast. Then only he comes down. I said, okay. But is it very difficult for him to come down and have breakfast? No, but he doesn't do that. Okay, fair enough. Doesn't matter. So we continued the discussion. Next day, again, the breakfast time came. We were sitting and the bell rang again. This lady is not getting up. She is talking to us and saying that, अच्छा, Bhagavad Gita में Krishna Bhagavan ने ऐसे बोला. This is what. Again, loudly the bell came. So we just reminded her that, Auntie ji, you know, I think so uncle is calling you for the breakfast. No. If he wants the breakfast, let him come down and have it. I said, oh my God, what we have done. You know, like a set thing was going on. And suddenly we disrupted the whole thing. And chances are it may be because that person will come down. And if he gets angry, then where will we go? We are staying there for 4 days. We don't have any place to go. So I said, no, Auntie ji, aap jaake dekh le, nahi, humko nahi aana hai. And he came, brimstone and fire, coming down from the stairs. Can't you hear what's happening? I'm ringing the bell. And so sweetly, I still remember this episode happened probably 15-20 years back. I still remember it like daylight. She said, darling, when I'm coming up with the tray, my knees are paining. I'm getting old now. I know you love me. So wouldn't you like me to stay with you a little while longer? That will be a big help if you can come down and have breakfast. Please, huh? I know you love me. Thank you. Finished. Sattva. Put your point across civilly, beautifully, and move on. And why you are putting the point across? Because you have a higher aim to achieve in life. This is Sattvic. Karmanne vadhikaraste ma. I am going on doing my duty. Everybody should do that. They will do their duty. I'm not even bothered about what everybody is doing. I should continue going with my duty, and I should never bother about result. The only thing I bother about the result is when it comes, whenever it comes, I look at it and see whether it is commensurate to whatever I needed to achieve. If no, doesn't matter. I'll change the process. Doesn't matter. I'll change the personality. Doesn't matter. I'll change the instrument. Everything can be changed to commensurate that your effort, what you plan to do in life, should be in line with the result you are getting. Karmanne vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbuhu. Let not your attitude be fixed on results. This is The second step, rajas. Rajas is always result oriented. If I do this, I will get that. If I do this, I will get that. Constantly thinking about it. Like a rat running around. Like anybody just running around without thinking. Moving on. I'll do this, I'll do this. If I'll do this, I'll get this. If I do this, I'll get. If I constantly if and then. When I was introduced to this subject, first time, I was listening to our master, Parthasatiji Swamiji, and he was in a hall, and I was a collegiate, just coming from work. I sat in the last bench and said, I will give this man 5 minutes to make sense. Backbencher I was. 5 minutes. And if it doesn't make sense while I'm listening to his Yagya lectures, I will get out. Because these Swamis and all don't work. They just keep on talking, and they have no relationship with reality of what's happening. This was my thought at that time. Right? And I heard, and in that 5 minutes, what sense he made has struck me till now and forever. He just drew a line like this on a blackboard and said, at present, you are here. This situation, this husband, this wife, this children, this remuneration, this salary, these people, you are here. And every time when I ask you in any particular situation, are you happy? You always tell me, yes, sir, I am happy. But if I reach here, I will be a little bit more happier. This much is enough. If I get that, I'll be happier. From there also, you'll not be happy. Again, something else. Initially, it starts with, this is the amount I should earn. Then this is the amount of fame I should earn. This is the amount everybody should know my name. Everywhere, the concern is, how do people recognize me? How do people, every time the focus. But for recognizing, we are not doing anything. We are just trying to buy the recognition with showing our own social status, like we call a new disease, OSD, obsessive showing off disorder. You know what my husband is doing, your husband is doing, what are you doing? You know what my children did, what are you doing? Obsessive showing off disorder. So Rajasic people are running, and whole life they run. From 40 to 50 to 60, the age, wise, every time the thought is, if this will happen, I'll be happier. And such a person, at any age you ask them, they will always say, I have yet to become better. I am not happy. Still, there is a lot of struggle. Dukh sukh to saath mein. This is the kind of problem. Every time, me and mine. This is me. Look at me. This is mine. These are my assets. These are my people around. This is what I need to get. Why are we so concerned about how the society deals with you? Doesn't matter. You do your duty. But Rajasic mind can't think that. Today, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse. Today, I should do this. Tomorrow, I will do that. While eating lunch, I've heard people talking about dinner. You're not even enjoying lunch. While eating breakfast, you're talking about everything else. Continuous deviation. This is a Rajasic mind. Zindagi, in Hindi, there is this beautiful quotation by Swami Ramatirtha. Zindagi bhar bakre ki tarah main karta raha. Ye main ki chihad sunkar काल का भेड़िया आया. काल मतलब death and भेड़िया मतलब wolf. बकरे की तरह, बकरा means goat. So बकरे की तरह मैं करता रहा. यह चिहाड़ सुनकर काल का भेड़िया आया. वो भेड़िया आके उस बकरे को खाया. He ate the बकरा. And after that, उस बकरे की चमड़ी, skin, तबले पर सजी. It went on a tabla and it kept on playing tutu baji. Continuously after death. What different does it matter after death what you're doing? While living, what you're doing? There was a cow and a pig which were discussing life and its uncertainties. And the pig was looking at the cow and said, you know what? I don't know why people pray to you. Okay, you give milk. That's all you do. What do? You don't do anything else. People build nice cow shed. They'll give you grass and this. Yeah, look at me. My hair is used for brushes. My toenails are used. My hoof is used. My tusk is used. Every aspect. And they eat me also. Every part of my body is used for the welfare of the human being. And yet, I don't know why they pray to you. So the cow just looked at the pig and made one statement. Try giving while you are living. After death, what's happening, God knows. Try giving what you are living. So Rajasic people will always think about what am I going to get. And it goes on constantly. Therefore, second quality, karmanne vadika raste, ma phaleshu kadachana, sattvic person, no attachment to result. Ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbuhu. I am running. Please don't have any kind of attachment to the result. This is Rajasic. Ma karma phala heturbuhu, ma te sangostva karmani. Let not your attachment be to inaction. This is tamas. Tamas is inertia. Inertia where the other person doesn't want to move and you literally have to push the other person to go one step ahead. Lazy, completely. Not that they don't have the capacity. They have that, but laziness. Kya fayda? Are do this. What is the use, yaar? One person was sitting there and the other person said, you know, you should do something in life. The young man said, what to do in life? You should earn. Acha, acha. And then do what? Earn and you should have a good standard of living. Acha, acha, acha. After that, kya? Good standard of living, then you'll have a nice job. You can get married to a very beautiful man or woman. Okay, okay. Then you should have beautiful children and you can see them grow. It's a pleasure to see the children grow. Acha, acha, acha. After that, kya? After that, they will all get married and you will be settled. Acha. Then you can sit and enjoy. So the youngster says, that's what I'm doing now. I'm sitting and enjoying. Without doing anything and trying to relax is tamas. When you go into the water for a swim, while there are a lot of swimmers, who can float. So they can float in water. So when they are going, when you swim into the water, do your 50 laps. And after that, you have given up your all efforts and then float is a different kind of a pleasure other than when you are just entering the water and floating. The first one is 100% satisfaction with your efforts. The last one, no effort. So when we are saying this person doesn't do any action, it's not that. They may do action, but they are not bothered about consequence. Their thought will be only destruction. Maximum chaos in the society. How can I manipulate people around me to say that I am the best? Hiranyakashyap attitude. Not Prahlada, Hiranyakashyap attitude. Ravana attitude. Everybody should see me. So this attitude is tamasic. Dangerous people right at the top of every civilized society, these people are there. In fact, they have become the leaders at the highest level, where they look down and they are not bothered about anybody else except finishing them off. I told you, nowadays there are no other religions. There are only two religions, haves and have-nots. That's all. There is nothing else anymore. So people are bifurcated different religion between Hindu, Muslim. This is only segregation is kept so that we can herd the sheep together better in control. That's all. Tamas is that attitude. They are not bothered about it. They remind me of a beautiful story of an emperor from Rome called Nero. This guy was playing music. He liked to play the violin. When he was playing the violin, he beautifully hit a very good tune. And he asked all the ministers, do you like this tune? and everybody dare say no, they will be chopped off. The head will be chopped off. So everybody said, beautiful. It was really good, sir. Very nice, very nice. Jahapana, it was very good. After few days, weeks or month, Nero wanted the same tune, but he was not getting it. I don't know what kind of a mood Nero was, because it was very melancholic tune. It was very sad tune. So he was playing the whole tune very nicely, and he could not get that tune. So he was asking his ministers, do you remember the tune? Everybody said, yeah, it was beautiful, but sir, I'm sorry, we don't remember. But at that time, it was very, very beautiful. What to do? So he hit upon a beautiful, novel idea, Nero's idea. What he did, he stood on the balcony with a violin ready, and he told his soldiers, burn the whole city of Rome. And they went and did that. They burned the whole city of Rome. Everybody were running helter-skelter. Children were running, the ladies, the men, everybody, houses were burnt, and he could see the flames, and they're crying. And while they were crying for help, Nero took his violin and he's trying to attune to that, all that sadness, what the people are feeling. And he plays his tune, and lo and behold, he comes to know about it. He gets the tune. And the quotation is, Nero fiddled while Rome burnt. This is tamas. Don't get involved in inaction or wrong action, which will destroy a generation. That's the whole idea about this, what we are doing, to be honest, cross my heart, is only to educate people. The only thing Vedanta tries to do is not to make you a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Sikh. We are really not interested. It really doesn't matter which religion you belong to. All I ask you is, can you think? When you get a particular information, do you have the intelligence and the intellect to process the information and find out what really the information is all about? Just start thinking. And as soon as you start thinking, my God, you are a dangerous person. You are very dangerous. There is this English serial which used to come called Friends. I used to see this long time back. In that Friends, there's this guy who wants to get married to a particular girl. The girl wants to get married, but the guy he pretends as if he's afraid of commitment. And he's bought a ring and everything to surprise her. But throughout the episode, he just says that, no, I'm not interested. And he wants to surprise her at the end with the ring. And the girl says, you are not interested in marriage, then what am I doing? And she walks off, and she meets her prior lover, who is a doctor. And he proposes her. So she says, it's so unfair. I wanted to marry you then, and you didn't want to get married. I want to get married to him now, this boy, and you are proposing and he is not. It's chaos. And she goes out, and I need time to think and go out. So this boy says, I have a ring. I was about to propose to her. And he gets so angry with his doctor is also a very cultured doctor. He looks at the doctor and says, do you know what you did? You know what you did? What a dangerous thing you did. You made my girlfriend think. Anybody who thinks, whether it's girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, it is a dangerous situation. That is the reason nobody wants anybody to think. You watch TV, you read newspapers, you do everything where news is shouting and bombarding all sorts of things into your head, so that you become a complete empty personality. Khokla. You become like a tree which is infested with termites. From externally, it looks a pleasant personality. Internally, not a single thought or idea of my own. The whole subject is hinging on that. How do you reach that? Don't be tamasic, don't be lazy, don't be rajasic, running always behind results and get upset by the result. See the result and move on to the next venture. This is sattvic. When you become a sattvic actor doing what you are supposed to do, understanding all the constituents of action, everything about where If the action is less, what will happen? Remember Kumbhakarna and Indrajit's example previously. All that, slowly your vasanas of I want to do this, I want to do this, drops off. The desires drop off. And when these desires of, you know what I want to do, drop off, I want to do in this statement, slowly by karma yoga, I gets reduced. Who am I to do anything? Who am I not to do it? It gets reduced. And what is highlighted is the doing. Is the work getting done? Yes, it doesn't matter who does it. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the work getting done? Yes. Slowly the desires get off. When the desires get off, you can concentrate better in whatever little activity you're doing, and eventually will lead you to a state of meditation. Meditation is not just sitting and closing your eyes and chanting and saying. Meditation does not make a spiritual person, but it takes a spiritual person to meditate. It's a state you reach. Meditation is defined as a single pointed concentration on a particular thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts under the constant supervision of one's intellect. Meditation is defined as single pointed concentration on a particular thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts under the constant supervision of one's intellect. I will explain to you subsequently in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you. And no breakage. Great. That's the way to go about it. Thank you.